When modern survivalists talk about gear, they often rave about multi-tools, sleek stainless gadgets that fold out into pliers, knives, screwdrivers and saws. They look impressive, no doubt, but the truth is these complex tools have more moving parts than practicality. During World War II, soldiers didn't have the luxury of carrying 15 tools in one polished device. Yet they managed to repair weapons, open rations, dig, cut and survive in some of the harshest environments imaginable. Their secret wasn't a piece of high-tech gear. It was a simple, cheap and brutally effective combination of 3 pocket-sized items that could outperform any modern multi-tool: a basic pocket knife, a steel spike and a can opener. This combination became the unsung hero of field survival, and for a good reason. It worked every single time. The origin of the pocket survival trio came from necessity, not design. When war broke out, soldiers were issued only what they truly needed. Gear had to earn its place, you know. Early in the conflict, the British, Americans and Germans all realized that men in the field required tools that could fix almost anything, from jammed rifles to leaking fuel cans. The problem was weight and complexity. Soldiers didn't want to carry full toolkits into battle, obviously. The solution came in the form of compact field kits, basic yet genius. The British Army issued the Army clasp knife, a rugged folding knife that included a blade, marlin spike and tin opener. The Americans developed their own version, known as the TL-29 electrician's knife, with a locking blade and a screwdriver tip that doubled as a prying bar. These were not multi-tools in the modern sense. They were stripped-down instruments of pure function, forged from high-carbon steel and designed to last. Unlike today's multi-tools, with dozens of delicate joints and springs that seize up when dirty, these wartime tools thrived in mud, sand and rain. They could be opened with one hand, cleaned with a rag, and sharpened on any stone. And because they weren't over-engineered, they rarely broke. The genius of the WWII pocket setup was its simplicity. You know, the real brilliance of the World War II pocket setup wasn't just the knife, it was the trio that worked together. The marlin spike, which was this pointed steel tool originally used by sailors, actually became the soldier's hidden advantage. It was used to untangle rope, pry open ammunition crates, and, well, even clean rifle barrels when nothing else was available. Soldiers also used it for field repairs, punching holes through canvas, leather, or even metal when they needed to fashion makeshift gear. The small can opener, originally designed to open military rations, did far more than just cut open tins. Troops used it as a scraper for fire starting, a screwdriver, or even a light pry bar. In emergencies, some even fashioned fishing hooks or wire snares from the metal they cut off. Together with a sturdy pocket blade, these tools formed what soldiers nicknamed the pocket mechanic. It fit easily into a uniform pocket, yet could solve 90% of the problems encountered in the field. And unlike modern multi-tools that fold into complex configurations, this setup could be used fast, even with frozen or gloved hands. The pocket hack worked because it focused on function, not features. Modern multi-tools often impress with numbers, 20 functions, titanium finishes, magnetic locks, but in practice half those tools are redundant. A World War II soldier didn't need 20 gadgets. He needed 3 tools that could take abuse and still perform. The pocket knife did the cutting and slicing. The spike handled leverage, cleaning and puncturing. The can opener took care of metal and scraping work. That's all it took. What made this setup so effective was how each piece could substitute for another. The spike could serve as a screwdriver or a small chisel. The blade could shave wood or cut rope. The can opener could be used for scraping tinder or flattening wire. Every piece had multiple applications, but none of them depended on delicate mechanics. That's why, even today, collectors and reenactors who use genuine World War II issue knives report that they still outperform most modern multi-tools in the field. A good carbon steel blade sharpens easily and holds an edge through rough use. The spike doubles as a fire poker or tent peg starter. The opener handles tin and steel as if it were nothing. In survival terms, that's reliability no new gadget can replicate. You can easily build your own World War II pocket trio using simple, affordable tools. A sturdy folding knife with a carbon steel blade is your foundation. It doesn't need to be tactical, just durable and easy to sharpen. Add a marlin spike or any steel awl, which can be found cheaply in hardware stores or old sailor's surplus. Finally, include a small military-style can opener like the P38, which costs less than $1 and fits on a keychain. Together, these 3 tools can handle almost any outdoor or emergency situation. Use the knife for general cutting, food prep and carving. Use the spike to punch holes, untangle paracord or clean gear. Use the opener for scraping and minor repairs. You can even lash the knife or spike to a stick to form a spear if needed, a trick soldiers often used in the field for fishing or defence. A modern multi-tool can't match this trio for one reason: flexibility. If one tool fails, the others still function independently. You can clean them easily, replace them cheaply and, well, adapt them endlessly. That's the same mindset that kept World War II troops alive and operational under impossible conditions. When you study real survival history, a pattern emerges. Every generation that faced true hardship leaned on simple, durable tools, not gimmicks. Whether it was a sailor's clasp knife in the North Atlantic, a United States paratrooper's P38 can opener in Europe, or a jungle fighter's field knife in the Pacific, these men didn't rely on luxury equipment. They relied on tools that could be fixed, sharpened, and trusted. That's the timeless lesson hidden inside this forgotten pocket hack. You don't need more tools, you need the right ones. Gear that's simple, field-tested and strong will always beat fragile technology. A sharp knife, a solid spike, and a sturdy can opener outwork any expensive multi-tool when things get real. If you found this deep dive into World War II ingenuity valuable, don't forget to subscribe to In the Beginning and, share this with other history buffs who appreciate old-world craftsmanship and survival logic. The next time someone shows off their fancy multi-tool, you'll know the truth. Soldiers 70 years ago did more with 3 pieces of steel than most of us can do with 20 gadgets today.